When to adjust your price when you have your home for sale. Now, there's two core things to this. Number one, you need to know when to adjust. And number two, you need to know how much to adjust. Now, this video is for those who have your current home for sale and it's not selling. Or you will be listing a home for sale and you're scared of it not selling. So you want to be proactive and get ahead of the situation. So first, I have to give you guys some context so you can understand what I'm about to explain next, okay? Now, you might think that simply listing your home puts you in the market, but there's a big difference between being on the market and being in the market. And that is the difference that can cost you thousands of dollars. Let me show you what I mean. Now, I want to share a principle of real estate that I've kind of developed over the years, and it's this. There's a difference between being on the market versus in the market. On the market means that you simply have a for sale sign on the property, but there's something about your listing that's not generating any showings. It could be the condition, location, and most often, price. Being in the market means that we have all of our ducks lined up in a row. Beautiful photos, our condition is good, our location is great, and our pricing is at market expectations, so it's generating showings. Remember, showings will lead to an offer. Without showings, there's gonna be no offers. Now, how will you know if you're on the market or in the market? You will know if your pricing is right within the first week of the listing. Now, assuming your realtor knows the difference between the two, being on the market versus in the market, and how many showings to expect for your type of property in your community. So as an example for today's video, you have your Calgary home listed for sale on the market. I'm in Calgary. So, and you're having no showings and no offers. Well, what do? Here's the first thing. Look at when to adjust. Now, conventional wisdom says you should adjust your pricing after X amount of days on the market. I don't agree with that. Instead, I believe it's based on the activity of your listing. So let me give you an example. Most sellers, either based on their real estate agent's advice or their own judgment, will typically reduce their price around the 30-day mark. But let's challenge that for a second. What if in your community, homes of your type and size should get about 5 showings a week, but you get 0 showings in the first 2 weeks? Well, now you're just on the market and not in the market. And so waiting 30 days makes 0 sense, right? You need to adjust now. That's why knowing how many showings to expect is crucial, because showings lead to offers. Without showings, there are no offers. We will always tell the homeowners who hire us what to expect in terms of showings and what we need to do to be in the market, not just on it. If you think this kind of expertise could help you sell your home, type expertise in the comments and we'll send you a link to contact us. Another thing to consider when to adjust your price is urgency. When do you, the homeowner, need to sell by? If you're not in a rush, you could stay at the higher end of market value, but pricing your home well above market value will not lead to a sale in a buyer or bounce market, no matter how much time you have. In a seller's market, that approach can work, but it still needs to be within a realistic price that buyers are willing to pay. If you're taking possession of your new home or have a deadline to sell, like relocating to another city, urgency becomes real. Adjusting your price to trigger a sale based on what similar properties are selling for should happen sooner rather than later. Keep in mind, typically, at least here in Calgary, once you get an offer, possession will happen in about 30 to 60 days. So you've got to factor in both the time on the market and the usual closing timeline for your area. The second part of this is determining how much to adjust. Now, there's 2 parts to this. First is, this isn't actually about how much to adjust, but what to adjust your price to. A lot of homeowners will focus on how much they need to lower their price and then they feel like they're losing so much money. This is incorrect. Let me explain why. So let's just say your home is listed at $760,000. Some of your neighbors that have a similar home sold for $700,000, which is market value. So a realistic list price could be around $730,000. $760,000 minus $730,000 is $30,000. Homeowners will kind of feel like they're losing that $30,000, when in fact, that money is not really theirs to lose because the market is showing it's not worth $760,000. So again, it's not about how much to reduce your list price, but what price to adjust to in order to trigger a sale. The second part of this is market conditions. Meaning, are you in a buyer's, seller's, or balanced market? So in Calgary, we are mostly in a seller's market, with some signs showing we're moving towards a balanced market. It's important to look at your property type, whether it's detached, semi-detached, townhome, or condo, the community you're in, the months of supply, and look at pricing your home with the trend of your market. Here are some core principles to follow, and you might want to save this video for later so you can reference back to this. In a buyer's market, if prices are trending down, price your home at the bottom value or even below. Why? Because buyers are always trying to time the market, waiting for that great deal. So they're hesitant to pay market price because they know they can get a lower price later. Desperate sellers will price it this way, which means someone else will set the new lower benchmark. You would rather be the one to set precedent, even at a lower price. Otherwise, you'll be chasing the market all the way down to the bottom. I've been through a few down cycles, and this is actually how it works. Not my rule, just the way the market reacts. If prices are stable, then you can price it right at market value, but be patient being on the market. You can always make low cost, high impact improvements to your home to make it stand out from your competitive listings. If you want a free guide on how to increase the value of your home, sell quicker, and for more money, download my free ebook in the description below. In a seller's market, if prices are trending upwards, you can price your home at the high end of market value, or depending on the property, condition, and location, even above market value. Buyers are willing to pay more because they expect the market to eventually reach that higher price, and they're okay with that since it will be market value by then. If you're in Calgary and you're curious about the home selling process, check out this video up here. It will walk you through the entire process step by step so you know exactly what to expect when selling your home. Now, to be honest, this is a lot of information, and this is really up to the experience and expertise of your real estate agent. Knowing when to adjust is based on the activity of your listing and the urgency of your situation. How much is dependent on where the market is and where the market is going, and what similar homes are selling for. These are all facts, and you simply can't argue with them. If you want to hire a real estate agent to list your Calgary home for sale without compromises, contact us in the link in the description below to schedule a private homeowner consultation so you can sell for the highest price in the shortest amount of time without hassle. Now, if you haven't put your property up for sale yet and you want to, you will want to check out this video here, and I talk about how to sell your home fast. Go ahead and click that video, and we'll see you in a few seconds.